Yo, it's Monty Draper. We are here at Mama Dog Studios in West Oakland, and I am honored to be sitting with the one and only RyanNicole. So, how
Hey,
are you?
I'm great. I'm glad to be sitting here with you.
You know how much this means to me? You pulled
I,
up.
you don't make me blush. I'm gonna start sweating.
We have this reoccurring conversation about the hustle culture of the Bay.
Yes.
At any given time, you're doing 10, 12, 50 things, and if there was a poster person for that, it would be you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate how insane you are at being an MC,
Thank you.
but being a screenwriter, being an actress.
Thank
Like it's not. There's no drop off.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. It's the curse though of the jack of all trades. Or I've been joking around and calling myself the queen of everything for a long
Queen
time.
of everything. That's fire.
Yeah, thank you. Which, is this notion around trying to figure out how to master. It might take a lifetime to master more than one thing. I had a coach in high school who told me you can only do three things successfully in your life at the same time. And I've been trying to debunk that theory all my life. And it might be a losing battle, but I'm down to go.
I imagine there are other struggles that we don't get to see as the observers, but as someone, as a spectator, you're doing it great.
Thank you.
And with a ton of grace. But you talked about your coach.
Yeah.
And there's another theory that I have that student athletes just take shit on one for real because you've been juggling. You've learned to juggle a lot
Straight up.
from early. But we're not going to treat that regular like you were just a regular student athlete. You held and hold a few records for the state of California
Thank you.
for track. So
Thank
we need to put some respect on that first and
Hey,
foremost.
come on.
How early do you remember not even just music but art being as important or if not more important in sports?
Yeah. I think art was more important than sports from the very beginning.
Oh wow.
But I didn't know how to get to it. My parents, my father and his entire family have been singing and acting. I mean, it goes back generations. Wow. And I had an uncle who's, a generation removed, who hit some significant success and also hit some pitfalls in his life. And so I think it scared a lot of the family, right, from pursuing art as a career. And certainly my father was like, you have to get a conventional career.
Right.
Like we're not doing that art thing anymore. And so I always wanted to be about it, and it was just part of the tapestry of my growing up. But I never knew how I was going to professionalize it, especially do that and have the approval of my father. And so I went a very conventional route, and that's how I found my way to sport. I found that my parents told me one day after we were watching A Different World, I was like, yeah, I'm going to Spelman and da-da-da-da. And they were like, that's cool, that's great. How are you going to pay for it? And I was like, you're going to pay for it. And they were like, yeah, no, we didn't have that in our plans. Wow. And then I went to a track meet. My cousin was running track, and I went to this track meet in Oregon. And the boys finished running, and they took off their spandex tops. And I was like, I'm doing that.
Y'all know where to find me at. That is hella funny.
I'm signing up next semester. So literally, went right back to school. I was like, I'm running track. We didn't have a track coach or nothing. I was like, I'm gonna run track. I'm gonna figure it out. Y'all gonna have one now. You gonna have a track coach.
How much overlap exists from forum to forum? From rocking the show, play, meeting with the writing group to get the script in order. How much of it is consistently the same thing, and how different are all the different disciplines for you?
The modalities are all different. Taking a pen to the page is different than picking up a mic and rocking. You know what it is. Sitting down and working with a team around a full creative arc for a character or a story is a different kind of discipline. It requires a different push and pull, a different tension and release. But the creative flow is all the same. And similarly, I mean, it's the same as an athlete. I realize the discipline is the same. I still got to wake up. I still got to clear my space. I still got to consume the right things so that the output is correct, right? Whether that's whatever I'm eating from my body or what I'm taking in, through my ear gates and my eye gates, right? It has to be proper consumption so that the output is right. So the discipline is the same, the modality is different. You got to clear the vessel so the creativity can flow, and you choose the different. I'm thinking of like a hose. You choose the different spigot,
yeah.
right?
I think about artists like yourself and being Oakland through and through. Can you paint a picture for us, like Oakland and how it has shaped you? Just not even just as a creative, because I feel like creators, again, it's one of those things where it's become so, especially during the pandemic, it's become so hip to be one.
Yeah.
That the ones who are lifers for real, like, yo, it ain't as fly as they try to make it.
Right.
But it does inform a healthy percentage of your life. Your mother, like a lot of these things. But how has Oakland shaped you, like as a woman?
Yeah. One of my earliest memories of like the convergence of art activism and Oakland was at what I realize now, Richard Navy's Juneteenth house party. And I was a little girl. My father took me, and the only reason I really have a sharp memory of it is because they were filming it on these big camcorders. But my dad took me, and I remember all these poets getting up and speaking, and just remembering just feeling like, this is what we do. Right. This is what we do on a Sunday. And if we're not here, we're at the flea market. And if we're not there, we're down at La Peña. And you know what I mean? It was just part of, again, the tapestry of my upbringing. And I couldn't, when it was time for me to leave, and frankly, like I started traveling in high school as I ran, looking for other places to be. I couldn't find any place like it. There's just such a unique convergence of creativity, of drive, of innovation, and in any field. And really all of that equated to grit for me. It was like, these people are going to take whatever they have and make something amazing from it. And it related to me as a Black woman, because I fully understood, from a vantage point of a several generations removed, understood the struggle of Black people on this in this country. And Black people, as I understand it, have taken, African Americans in particular, taken whatever they have and made magic, made gumbo, made culture, and so I'm like, well, what better place? I don't have to leave to replicate that experience. It's right here where I'm at. And I have fought tooth and nail to stay here.